In this podcast episode, Samuel Andreyev engages in a thought-provoking discussion about the intersection of identity politics and artistic expression, particularly in the realm of music. He explores the implications of reducing artists to mere representatives of their identities, the separation of art from politics, the decline of arts education, and the impact of technology on music. Additionally, Andreyev addresses the challenges of sustaining artistic careers, the legacy of great composers, and the necessity of the arts in society. Andreyev argues that the arts have increasingly become entangled with identity politics, which he believes undermines the quality and integrity of artistic work. He reflects on his own experiences, noting that he has often been asked to create pieces that reflect his identity as the son of Macedonian immigrants or to align with Canadian cultural themes. This trend, he argues, reduces artists to mere representatives of their identities, overshadowing their individual artistic contributions. Andreyev emphasizes that art should fundamentally exist outside the realm of politics. He contends that reducing art to a political tool diminishes its true purpose, which is to express the human spirit. The current societal skepticism towards fine arts has led to attempts to justify their value through political lenses, a trend he finds problematic. He advocates for a return to genuine artistic expression that is free from political constraints, allowing artists to explore their creativity without being pigeonholed by societal expectations. The conversation also addresses the perception of the arts as a frivolous accessory in society. Andreyev argues against this notion, asserting that art is foundational to culture and human expression. He believes that the arts are essential for individual expression and serve as a counterbalance to the homogenizing tendencies of mass culture. The reduction of arts education in schools contributes to the perception that the arts are unimportant, which he criticizes as detrimental to cultural appreciation. Andreyev highlights the decline of arts education as a significant issue affecting the appreciation of the arts. He argues that a lack of exposure to the arts from an early age leads to ignorance about their value and cultural significance. Education should focus on instilling an appreciation for the arts rather than treating them as secondary to other subjects. He laments that many people are unaware of the rich cultural heritage that has shaped society, which is a direct result of inadequate arts education. In discussing the nature of art, Andreyev insists that it should be an active engagement rather than passive consumption. He criticizes the commodification of art, where it is treated as a product to be consumed rather than an experience to be engaged with. This shift in perspective has led to a disconnect between artists and audiences, as art becomes something that is merely bought or displayed rather than created and experienced. He advocates for a more engaged relationship with art, emphasizing its role as a vital part of human experience. The impact of technology on music is another focal point of the discussion. Andreyev acknowledges that while technology can be daunting, it also offers opportunities that were previously unavailable. Platforms like TikTok allow musicians to connect with a global audience, fostering communities that might not have existed otherwise. However, he expresses concern about the negative effects of technology, particularly on attention spans and the quality of engagement with art. The prevalence of technology has led to a sense of isolation among individuals as people become more engrossed in their devices rather than engaging with the world around them. The podcast also reflects on the changing landscape of popular music, where artists now often gain fame through platforms like YouTube and TikTok rather than traditional record labels. This shift has led to a democratization of music distribution, allowing for a wider variety of voices and styles to emerge. However, Andreyev notes that this has resulted in fewer cultural giants, artists who resonate across diverse demographics compared to the past. The fragmentation of media consumption means that no single artist can dominate the cultural landscape as they once did, making it more challenging for artists to achieve widespread recognition. The issue of controversial art and potential censorship in today's society is also discussed. Andreyev suggests that while some artists may face backlash for their work, the rise of social media platforms allows for a broader range of expression. He posits that while mainstream record labels may shy away from controversial content, independent artists can still find ways to share their work without significant gatekeeping. This reflects a tension between the desire for artistic freedom and the potential for backlash in a more sensitive cultural climate. Andreyev explores the history of the musical repertoire, explaining how the concept emerged in the 19th century when composers began to create works that would be performed repeatedly. This has created a competitive environment for contemporary composers who must contend not only with their peers, but also with the legacy of great composers from the past. The pressure to create something that stands out against such a rich history can be daunting for new artists, as audiences often gravitate towards familiar masterpieces rather than new compositions. The dangers of artistic ephemerality are also discussed, with Andreyev noting that while it may be easier for artists to achieve a moment of fame, sustaining a career is increasingly difficult. The phenomenon of one-hit wonders is highlighted as a potential pitfall for artists who experience rapid success but struggle to maintain relevance. This fleeting nature of fame can be detrimental, as artists may find themselves trapped in a cycle of trying to replicate past successes rather than evolving their craft. Finally, the conversation touches on the science of music, with Andreyev explaining that music is a multi-dimensional art form that encompasses entertainment, emotional expression, and technological innovation. He references Pythagoras and the mathematical foundations of music, suggesting that there is a scientific aspect to how music is created and perceived. This complexity adds another layer to the discussion of why individuals are drawn to music, as it combines emotional resonance with structural elements that can be analyzed and understood. Throughout the podcast, Andreyev articulates the profound impact of the arts on society and individual well-being, emphasizing their necessity rather than viewing them as mere luxuries. He argues that the arts encapsulate and express essential values, serving as a vessel for cultural preservation. By advocating for a deeper engagement with the arts, he encourages society to recognize their essential role in fostering a meaningful and connected existence.